What's up, everybody? It's AJ with eachauto.com. Today we're going to be checking out the Hollywood Rack's Destination platform style bike rack on our 2016 Nissan Rogue. Now, it's a platform style bike, so usually means it has frame contact or it's going to hold it by the wheel. As you can see on our Destination, we're going to have frame contact today, but it's a little bit different. The cradles down here on the side on this mast, which they move independently, which is a really great feature. That means bikes with different frames or different sizes, you can still put on right next to each other. You don't have to worry about these, like some of the hooks will bump into each other if they're on the same one. These move independently and it can adjust a bunch of different frame styles. So from mountain bikes, alternative frame bikes, women's bikes, kids bikes, this is going to fit all of those on there just because of how this works. So that's pretty handy to have, especially on a 4-bike carrier. You're going to have 4 very different types of bikes. So it holds it here by the frame. This part's padded, so you don't have to worry about scratching up your frame at all. It's got the strap that goes around. This is also padded here too, protecting your frame. Down at the wheel cradle, so we have very similar straps, just holding in the tires. You have the padding here, keeping anything from scratching or putting too much pressure on the inside of your wheel. I can shake the back and forth. You see, barely moves. So that's about as much it'll do while you're going down the road. The whole rack is pretty solid. You see, it doesn't move or rattle a whole bunch. It stays in place, which is good, especially when you're going to add 4 bikes to it. Now, let's go ahead and remove the bike. So what we're going to do is do the wheel straps first. Just push it on the tab, and that releases them. And then the front and the back. And we'll come back to the center mast and undo that strap. Same way as you did before. Just to release that. Make sure you keep one hand on the bike though so it stays in place. And now your bike is released. So just walk it off to the side and get it out of the way. Now you can also fold the mast down like you see here. If this is still kind of in the way and you want to fold it to get it off there easier, you can do that. But I'm just going to bring the bike up and off this way. I mentioned the mast can fold down, so let's go ahead and do that right now. You're going to undo this knob here. The metal plate will come up. You can fold that out of the way wherever you want, and then this goes back down into place. Either side you want to put it on, you can. Make sure those are out of the way, that way it gets nice and flat right there. Now, while you're down there, you can see the cradles. They're kind of in a fixed position. You can't adjust them or anything, but you can adjust the straps. They have a few holes on the side, so you undo the hand knob and adjust those for different wheel sizes. The cradles are ready to go, and they're ready to fit road bike tires and mountain bike tires. They fit all those, ready to go. There's kind of a groove here for the road bike, and the mountain bike will fit in there too. Replace those straps. And another thing I like to do is to make sure it stays in place is run this strap through and around the mast and just go ahead and bring it through. That way, because it kind of sits there loose, and while you're going down the road, you want it not to move at all. So now you see it's in place and not going anywhere, because that's going to come in handy when we go to fold it up against the vehicle too. But let me get the tape measure and get some measurements before we do that. So now we're going to go from the bumper to the furthest out point. It's going to be this edge here. It's going to be 37 inches. We'll also do the closest point. It's going to be right here. It's going to be 3.5 inches, which is fine. It doesn't sound like a whole lot, but like I said, this bike rack doesn't move, so it's not going to get any closer than that. It'll be fine. So then ground clearance would be another one. This one has quite a decent rise on it, so you probably don't need this measurement. It's pretty far up. We're 24 inches from the ground, so I think you're going to be just fine. It has that nice raise up here. You can see the bar as it comes up here. It's just something we like to warn people when it is sitting lower to watch out for those steep hills or driveways, but you're not gonna have any issues with this one. So, to take away some of that it adds to the back of the vehicle, we can fold it up. And how we do that is we come over here to this knob. After we pull the pin, you just loosen that all the way out, and then just fold it up. Looks like our strap's making contact, but you can kind of make sure that comes in a little bit more. That way there's not as much slack hanging out. But right about there looks good, so you line it back up with the new hole here at the bottom and run that back in. So went a little too far forward. There we go. So I don't normally like the hand knob method of this, but this one's pretty easy to use. I can't really complain about it. It goes right in on the first try. The hand knob is big enough to grab onto with your hands, so you can get it nice and tight or loosen it easily. It's not like a tiny one where you have to struggle with it. And then the pin on the other side, make sure you replace that so it can't back out just in case. But now, let's get that measurement of how much it sticks out. So from the bumper out to here, looks like it's 10.5 inches. So it saves you quite a bit of space. Now the closest point is going to be way more closer this time. Let's go from the bumper to here, probably about 3 inches. So it is closer, but again, it's not moving, so it's not going to go anywhere. So it's not going to make contact with the back of your Rogue. Now let's go look and see how it fits in the hitch. It's going to go in 2-inch by 2-inch hitches. Got the anti-rattle bolt here with a lock on the other side, so I can shake this whole vehicle back and forth. There's no rattling in the hitch whatsoever, so that's good. You won't hear any noise going down the road. Also, you got the lock on the other side. I like that it's included. You can lock it up. That way nobody can mess with it when you're not around. Something I would suggest, though, is the e-trailer hitch alignment tool. Will fit right around here because these big platform bike racks, they're like 4 bikes. They're a little bulky to lift up and slide into place, and you gotta line up this hitch point hole every single time. That can get a little annoying when you miss it, and you have to keep looking over to the side and get it just right. With that collar, it'll go right here. You'll tighten it up once you've lined up that hitch pin hole, and then it'll hit that collar every time and line it up on the first try every time. It's just gonna save you on loading it up and getting it set up. It's just, I really recommend it. As much as we use these around here, that hitch aligner tool is awesome. Well, that really about does it. Thanks for hanging out, and I hope this helped.
Now we're going to go ahead and take it on our test course. First, we'll start with the slaloms. This is going to show the side-to-side action. It's kind of going to mimic the movements that you'll see whenever you're driving down the road normally. Now we'll have the alternating speed bumps. This is going to be more so like the uneven roads and some of that uneven terrain you might be traveling on, and see how it holds up.